What's up, y'all? Riley from Wander with the Woods here, and today I'm doing a first impressions unboxing and power draw test of this electric kettle from Stoke Voltaics. I believe I'm saying that correctly. Full disclaimer, they did send me this to test, but I'm going to provide you with my honest, unbiased opinion of the quality of this product and give you a firsthand look at how much power it actually draws to see if it's a good option for people who like to go camping, whether that's for the weekend or like us, live full-time on the road in an RV or van, to see if the power draw, the power consumption is realistic for whatever battery setup you have. So while they did send me this, I'm not getting paid, and I'm going to give you my full authentic review. So first things first, let's open this up, see what the quality is like, see what accessories are in here, and then we'll dive into the test itself. Right off the bat, it seems packaged nicely. The branding is clear. You can see the product through the little plastic window there, and you have some basic information. See if that'll focus there on the back. So it lays out what model it has, the size of the product, the capacity, which is 30 ounces for this particular model. They do make a system that's made for cooking, so that's a little bit different. The supposed power draw at 120 volts, and we will test that. Getting into the box, little pull tab there, nicely packaged. Pull out this little cover, set that to the side over there. This thing fell out. Looks like it's probably a rod for stirring your coffee, because as well as being a kettle, this also is a French press. So it's a 2-in-1 system, which could be nice. It could help you save a little space, but we'll see how it works. Then we have the kettle itself. So it has a seemingly pretty nice little neoprene sleeve here with a built-in handle to protect you when this thing gets hot, because I imagine that it does get hot as the water in there boils. You can see that it has some basic controls along the bottom here. So you have drink, eat, and pop. You can use this to make popcorn as well, which is pretty neat. Just picking this up, this feels pretty high quality. It's heavy, which I imagine is because it has the electronics built into the base here, because it is very bottom heavy, which if you're camping, that's actually a benefit because it'll keep the wind from blowing this over if you set it on a picnic table or something. Let's pop open the lid here and see what the inside looks like, and if we have a power cable in here. We do have a power cable nestled in here, so let's get that out. In addition to the lid, this is also the French press mechanism, so it's built in. It looks like you can probably unscrew that. I'll test that just to be sure, and use this as just a kettle instead of a French press combo. Once you get that open, you can see that there's actually not that much capacity, and that is because of all the electronics and heating elements that are in the base. So while the entire unit might be this size, your water capacity actually stops around there. You really only have room for 16 ounces. It says that the max safe fill line is at 16 ounces. 16 ounces is plenty for 2 cups of coffee, boiling some water to make those noodles that you love, you know, the ones that come in the little black cup and are spicy. Those are the ones to get. Or even to make a little single serving of popcorn probably. Let's set the main unit to the side, take a look at this lid here. So the first thing that I noticed when I took it out is that this little plunger, and let's see if you can see it there. See if we can get that to focus. You can actually see there's some exposed threads under there. And coming straight out of the box, that makes me question the quality control just a little bit. Second thing I noticed is that you do have 2 ways of pouring things out of this. So you have a full pour and then a strainer. So if you are making noodles or trying to control the flow of the water there, you do have this side which you can pour out of. French press looks like a French press. It's a fine steel mesh. Seems to nest on there pretty well. And you can see that there's a big screw there. So if we just give it a little twirl, it should come right off. And it does. So there you go. You have this, which separates for cleaning. So that's nice. Nest together perfectly well. And then over here, you have the screw mechanism itself. So I believe you could take this little piece off, pull this out, and just have a kettle. The final thing to notice in the package is the power cord. Comes with a handy little Velcro wrap, which I do appreciate. That really helps keep things organized when you're camping, when stuff is rattling around in the back of your truck, whatever. Pretty good length. Okay, yeah, not bad. It does have a ground, so a little additional safety there, which is important if you're using a high-powered electric kettle. The door for the power cord is protected by a rubber seal, so that is a nice touch as well. Keep moisture out of there when you're not using it. And if you're going to be taking this camping, that's important because sometimes stuff gets wet. You don't want your nice kettle to end up on the fritz. This feels heavy duty. It feels durable. It's full metal construction other than this lid. Everything even has rubber feet on the bottom to keep it from sliding around. So it seems like they thought of most of the essential things you want out of a camping appliance. Now let's put some water in this and see how long it takes to reach a boil, as well as how much power it draws. I have some room temperature water. I'm going to fill the kettle up to its max fill line of 16 ounces. And I have a Jackery Explore 500, which is just over 500 watt hours of power. Have it charged up to 100%. We're going to plug the kettle into this, let it reach a boil. We're going to see how long that takes, and we're going to see how much power it consumes from that 518-ish watt hours of power. So I have a timer on my phone here. I'm going to press start on that. As soon as I press start on the kettle, we have it set to drink. You press this button to begin the heating process. And when it starts to boil, I'll stop the timer on my phone and we will check how much the battery is depleted. So let's do this thing. I should note that it was around 80 degrees that day, and I was standing in the full sun. If the ambient temperature is lower where you are, or you're not standing in the sun, it might take longer for your water to boil. Also, you'll see that there's an indicator light that tells you what mode the kettle is in, and will turn off when the process is complete. Finally, the kettle drew around 400 watts of power consistently until the water began to boil. So there you have it. We boiled 16 ounces of room temperature water with the Stoke Voltaics Joule electric kettle. Took about 6.5 minutes, and it drained our battery by 8%. So it's not the fastest. I don't know that I could say it's the most energy efficient, but it is a compact package that does multiple things, which is valuable when you are packing for a trip when space is limited. I do love the versatility. I like that I can have a French press, make coffee, as well as other things that require boiling water, such as noodles, teas. Hanna loves to drink tea, and has some other functions as well. It is a compact package, and that's always a benefit. So we might keep it around for a little bit, give it a try on the road, see how it holds up. If you are not somebody who's going to carry around a massive battery bank, then this probably isn't for you. You know, if you're going tent camping, Certainly not if you're going backpacking. But for someone like us who has a camper with a relatively large battery bank, then this would barely make a dent in our battery capacity. Um, and really, we could use this whenever we wanted for ease and for making that morning coffee without having to be so highly involved. Let me know what you think. Is this a good product? Is this the way of the future for camping? I don't know. Check out Stoke Voltaics if you're interested. I don't benefit at all from this. I don't have a discount code to give you. I don't have an affiliate link. So I don't get anything in my pocket if you do want to buy this or something else from their lineup. But it is fun to highlight a new company and a new innovative product. So check them out. If you enjoyed this gear review, if you'd like to see more of this, or if you're into full-time travel, adventure, learning about what it's like to live on the road full-time, how to save money, how we budget, all that kind of good stuff, feel free to give us a follow, like, subscribe to this channel, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.